So we did a head count the other day. 56 horses over the age of 2 that are racing or ready to race right now. 56. That's a lot. Hold the phone. Made a mistake here. So I made a top 10 list for the 3-year-olds. Now, I'm not going to put her on the top 10. I'm just going to talk about her. Top 10 list for the 3-year-olds. Obviously, I think being fair is a combination of horses that were good last year, horses that have been training fantastic, and horses that have a lot of potential for 2020. I think we know who they are now. Having said that, overall, I guess it's a travesty. I'm making it 11. This is a travesty. Number 11. I'm going to make it 11. I'm going to tell you why in a minute. So the last few weeks, the last month, we have had a few little issues keeping Canadian Titan trotting. Big filly, little track, lots of work to do. Maybe some aches and pains, tight corners, who knows. But she had made breaks. We made some significant shoeing and equipment changes on Canadian Titan over the past 2 weeks. I told you I thought she was awesome last week, and she made a break. She was good after. You could tell the speed was there. She got through that turn by the road, no problem afterwards. But why did she run in the other one, right? So I worked on her all week, made a few more little changes. I trained her on Wednesday. I thought she was good, real good. And then I went to train her Friday, and Mario said, she just trained on Wednesday. Why don't we wait till next week? No. As I said to you before, if you're any athlete in any sport and there's a hole in your game, you don't take time to dwell on it and think about it. You get back to work and you drill it out of existence. So unless you're dealing with sheer lameness, and then that's probably a recipe for disaster. But I didn't see any lameness issues with Canadian Titan. I saw some confidence issues. I saw maybe her making some mistakes and hitting herself in the turns. And this is a tight half, and we would be going over to Mohawk right now, but that doesn't mean that that's okay. So we made these changes, and we really worked her hard. Not fast, just worked her. Wednesday she worked, and I said to Mary, no, she's going to work on Friday also. So I trained her yesterday, and she was awesome. Very, very, very good. The 10 horses on this list, I guess, for right now in real time, belong ahead of her, although a few of them have made more money than she did in 2019. She's really coming on, and I had to put her on a list. It was just unfair not to, the way she trained this week. So number 11, Canadian Titan. Number 10 is a horse that Mario swears is the best 3-year-old pacer we have. I disagree. I hope he's right, but we'll see. His name is Watch Avenue. Watch Avenue has been training great at the farm. Hasn't been as flashy at the track. Showed some talent, but that if you're going to make claims of him being the best pacer, then he'd want to look better than Bottle of Red, Brush Cut, any host of Capistrano. He just hasn't. But he has looked good at the farm. There's no two ways about that. So I put number 10 as Watch Avenue because Mario loves his horse. He clearly gets along with him. And the horse responds well to Mario. And he believes Watch Avenue, he said that to me yesterday, Watch Avenue is our best 3-year-old. Now, in fairness to him, he hasn't gone with, he went with Brush Cut, or he went with Bottle of Red last week, but he hasn't gone with Brush Cut in a while, and he hasn't gone with Capistrano only once in her life. So, Watch Avenue, okay. We'll give credit to where credit is due. The horse has been training great and looks great. I don't know about the claim he's the best 3-year-old pacer we have. I hope he's right. I'd love to see him come on. But for now, I'd just like to see him get out of the maiden. I'd like to see him race. I'd like to be able to race to prove him right or wrong. That's what I would like to do. So Watch Avenue, very impressive looking at the farm the last 3 weeks. You might say, well, maybe he's a horse that trains good when he's not racing. He's not a coward. I'm not saying the horse is a coward. I'm saying that he's had some issues he had to overcome, and maybe he did. Maybe he's decided enough's enough, and he's going to devote himself 100% to racing. That's a scary Watch Avenue. That may be the Watch Avenue we're seeing now, and I hope it is. Number 9, Trafalgar. Trafalgar has been great for a long time. Trafalgar is a very nice filly. I said to you guys, we didn't want to drone her over the last few weeks because she takes her training seriously, right? She gets all wound up. She gets hot. She gets a little bothered. And we just trained her by herself. She doesn't need to be in a group. She's fine in a group. Put her on the gate, sit her in a hole. She'll do all that. She just takes her training as seriously as she takes her racing. So we don't want to take starts out of her. let's just go easy with her. She looked great today training. I saw Harry go with her. She looked real. I actually got a really good look. It was really funny. So Harry saw us training the 2-year-olds, and he turned in front of us because he was going to go faster. So obviously turning in front of us and going faster, we get him. Now the horse coming behind him that I was driving was Trafalgar's brother, Blue Monk. So it was odd. I saw him train Trafalgar. I saw him turn to go at Trafalgar, and Mary and Jerry are sitting at the fence. They snuck out today to sit at the fence and watch the horses go. I look over and I said, "Siblings," and she saw it at the same time I did. Trafalgar was 10 lengths ahead, and Blue Monk was in the training set, a 2-year-old. So it was kind of neat. Trafalgar's been great, pace 53, one of her first starts. Just been a superstar filly for us. You know, she's not a Breeders' Crown type filly, but she's going to do some damage for us. I think that's pretty obvious. And if Harry can get some weight on her, and it's not easy, just feed her different or feed her more. She eats like a bear, just doesn't put any weight on. We've put her on stuff for ulcers and whatnot. She eats good. She's just not packing it on. And she's a big, big filly. And I think it's just going to take a little bit of time. Harry's doing a great job with her, and she looked great today. Number 8, Sebastian Yu. The only reason I put him ahead of Trafalgar is because I sat behind him last time we trained him at the farm, and I saw him jog today. He looks better. He looks sounder. He looks comfortable. He looks dangerous. He looks like he wants to get at it. So Sebastian Yu has looked very, very good. He'll be in a set on Wednesday for you guys. So if you didn't get that, I'd said it in a video. If you don't see all our videos or are sick and tired of listening to me, so I guess you wouldn't be right now either. But if you are, we're going to drone on Wednesday, I believe. If now there's a chance of rain. So weather permitting, we're going to drone on Wednesday, but it's 13 or 14. It looks good. Not a lot of wind, so we should be able to get some of these horses drone. Sebastian Yu will be one of them. I was very impressed with him when I went with him. Just a good-looking horse. Really put it all together the last little while. Sebastian Yu, number 8, number 7, Spend That Money's been very good. She did not train today, and she was a little hot the other day, and I don't think it was that she was sharp. I think she was just bothered. So I said to Jason, we changed her shoes. We've been training her really hard. Why don't we just give her a week off? And that's exactly what we did. Spend That Money didn't train today, but looked awesome the last few times she trained. She comes in at number 7. Number 6, Spirit of Dio. She might be in Florida. You guys might have missed it. I did. But Spirit of Dio tried to qualify with no hobbles on yesterday. John told me, quote, "It was my fault. I should have let her trot out of there. I fought with her and she made a break." So Spirit of Dio made a little break in a qualifier at a farm. It is a legit qualifier. I think it was, where's he at? I think he's at Spring Garden. I don't know where he is. But Spirit of Dio made a little break leaving, he said, and was fine. Trotted her last mile after that, right around 2 minutes. So I think he's planning on schooling her next week and maybe qualifying her again after that. Number 5, Capistrano. She looks so good on the track now. Harry's done a great job. Harry and Nelly done a tremendous job with Capistrano. She looks unbelievably good on the track. Stronger, bigger. She put weight on. She looks sound and great. Really happy with Capistrano. Can't wait to see her race. Can't wait to see anybody race. Can't wait to see her race this summer. Number 4, Compass Rose DC. Page gets along with her also very well and went with her today. Coming last half in 104 at the track and looked very, very good doing it. Compass Rose DC just looks impressive right now. Looks impressive. Number 3, and I'm going to tell you what, the top 2 are going to be tough to tackle, but if anybody can do it, it's number 3. Path of Totality shocked the hell out of me last week how good she really was. I knew she was talented. I drove her all last year, but I didn't know she was this good. She came first over and blew by Bottle of Red, or is it pace 54, 5-6 weeks ago? Path of Totality is impressive. Kevin has done a tremendous job with her, and this filly means business. I hope we get back to racing soon because she wants to get at it. Path of Totality looked awesome last week. Easily number 3. She's going to do some work to beat number 1 and 2. Number 2, our girl's back. Knockdown Dragout. She was awesome last week. I trained her yesterday also by herself. She was coming off a little rash. I didn't want her to lose much weight. And she was quiet. And I know I told you guys, you guys are sending me bits and this and try that. The TQ is fine for now, and I know you can't race on TQ, which is fine. It's not the end of the world. We're just trying to get her to be comfortable on the track. The fact that she could move in a second over position last week without getting crazy, without getting hot, and attack had little to do with TQ and more to do with intelligence. Just take the edge off her and let her do her work. And yesterday we didn't even have to. She was just absolutely awesome yesterday. I was really impressed with her. Number 1, though, trained her for the first time the other day. You guys might have saw a little snippet pop up on Facebook. Was me training Globetrotting. And I know there's going to be a lot of people say, well, Globetrotting, can't be Knockdown Dragout. Hold your horses. Knockdown Dragout's a fast filly, but she's got quite a ways to go to wear the same pair of pants as Globetrotting. Globetrotting raced in the Breeders' Crown elimination and actually won in 56 and made 160,000 last year. Her only three losses. One was I guess I'll take responsibility for some of it. I know people said, well, you went a big first half in Northfield. The track was like concrete. She was a little warm, and she did have mucus in her nose afterwards. So I'll take some of the blame, but she got beat fair and square. It was a horse race. It happens. And Knockdown Dragout has been quite a surprise. Right? Globetrotting. She's been quite a surprise. Knockdown Dragout was quite a surprise too, but in a different way. So Globetrotting came into her 2019 year with hopes. We had hopes. High hopes, if you want. We thought she could be a nice horse, but if you'd have told me she'd do what she did on Breeders' Crown Night, I would say you were wrong. Globetrotting, when she tried her last three quarters, 125, 124, something like that, and was loaded down the lane. We haven't had the hobbles on her yet. This week coming will be the first time she gets the hobbles. If she trains on Wednesday, it will be in a 220 set. I trained her in 2.6 last half and 1.1 last quarter in 29 seconds at the farm by herself in the middle of the racetrack on Friday, yesterday. Reason being, we got the news that likely Ohio will be able to begin to open up some of their economy on the 15th of May. That puts racing as soon as they can after that. They have some stake races to make up and some other things coming up. They're going to have to juggle their schedule. To do that, they have to know when they can open. So there's going to be there's still a lot of moving parts and a lot of fluidity in the industry as far as the logistics of what we can do as an industry when we open up. We've missed so much, and we're going to miss so much that it makes it very difficult. So I wanted Globetrotting to be ready for the 15th. I think Jason has her exactly where she needs to be. What I felt yesterday was a filly that we'll throw the hobbles on her, go a mile in 2.4 next week. We'll go a mile in 2.2 or 2.3 at the farm if the track's good. We're going to get it graded and get some material put on it in the next 2 weeks also. So we could have, that's the great thing about Tamiko Training Center. It used to be Campbellville and Paymont and a million other things. The track's been there forever. All you have to do is treat it good and it'll come back. And by grading the track, flattening it properly, putting material on it, it'd be just like a half-mile racetrack by the time Globetrotting's ready to rock in the race bike. Hopefully, I would like to see the track graded and some stone dust put on it in the next 10 days. I would think in the next 3 weeks, Globetrotting will be ready to go. I'd like to snap her in the bike, go mile in 2.2, come off in 58 at the farm, and then qualifying her in 57 probably shouldn't be that hard to do at Mohawk. So all this is leading up to we're building and building because we believe that racing is going to open up. I don't think you're going to see racing here in Ontario until the first part of June. I've pushed that back. I've lost a bottle of Tito's on a bet over this. I preached to people and said May 15th, as soon as Ohio opens, Ontario will. After hearing people talk in Ontario, after seeing the press conference from Jim Lawson the other day and talking back and forth with emails with him and Jessica, it seems like they don't believe a May opening is likely. I think I guess nobody can really tell, right? Because it really is going to boil down to what this virus does over the next 14 days, 21 days. And at that point, you'll be able to make a more realistic decision. This is an answer that only scientists can give. And when scientists give it, it has to be given to a politician that has to put his political career on the line to open up the economy. Doug Ford's going to make sure it's right when it's right. So is Justin Trudeau. So I think if we're able to open Ontario in the middle of May, you still won't see Mohawk open up till the first part of June. So I think that'll be 2 weeks after potentially, hopefully, the Meadows and Northfield. Now Northfield's Cleveland, so I don't know. I thought it was really cool. I'd said this in the opening. The president, the I guess briefing the other night, had said that the governors have the discretion, which they do, and then they can offload some of that discretion to counties, so and cities, I guess. So does that mean the mayor of Cleveland can make a decision when they go to open up? You can be sure, you can see the unrest bubbling, right? And I'm surprised that our entire world, for the most part, now I haven't been paying very close attention because I have other stuff I'm trying to do, but I don't see riots and the civil unrest that you would think you would have after being off this long. So that leads me to believe that both countries have done our countries in North America have done a good job trying to get people what they need, right? and we talk about this all the time. I was so upset when this happened because I'm thinking, I have to think about my family and me first also, and how are we going to run the stable with no racing? And the answer is simple: we get the best clients in the universe. So, but it's just, I feel awkward talking about how tough it is for me right now, because I can think of 10 people that drive or train that I know are in worse places right now. I know are in much worse situations and trying to go through much worse scenarios than I am. And I feel terrible every time I think about them. And, for that to happen on a bigger scale, it's amazing there hasn't been riots and things of that nature. I know there's been a few. You don't need to email me clippings, um, but that won't last forever. So I know a lot of people are saying, why don't we just stay home for another 6 weeks? The easy way to put it is because there's people that can't. And that's the reality of it. So, I know the governments are giving people assistance, but I haven't got any assistance money. I haven't got any checks. I know that the industry had worked unbelievably hard to get us this relief money from inside the industry and this stranded purse money that we didn't get a chance to race for. I haven't seen any of that yet. I know I've heard from clients in the U.S. and friends of mine that are saying they haven't seen any money yet. So it's one thing to say you're getting it. It's another thing to actually have it. So for those of you out there that are feeling the pinch, again, I feel terrible. And if there's an issue where you can't pay your invoice to the stable, please just let me know. I don't want anybody missing out on horse ownership because of this pandemic. And I will do whatever I can to make sure that everybody stays involved at whatever level they're comfortable. So from me to you, and an extension from our clients that have also said the same thing to me, we're all a big family, we're all a big group, and we're going to look out for one another. So that is the 3-year-olds. That's top 10 list. Top 11 list. Canadian Titan simply belonged on the list. It would be unfair not to put her on. Canadian Titan number 11, Watch Avenue. 10, 9, Trafalgar. 8, Sebastian U. 7, Spend That Money. 6, Spirit of Dio. 5, Capistrano. 4, Compass Rose DC. 3, Path of Totality number 2, Knockdown Dragout. And Globetrotting is still atop the list at number 1. So those are all your lists. I'm going to come back with the stables, tell you all about what's going on in the stables in just a minute.